Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to present a poem by Wang Bo. He was regarded as one of the four best poets of the early Tang Dynasty. The four of them were labeled as Tang Chu Si Jie, the four extraordinary talents of the early Tang. They are Wang Bo, Luo Bin Wang, Lu Zhaolin, Yang Jun. And Wang Bo was the best among them. This poem is part of a rhymed essay, Teng Wang Ge Xu, a tribute to Prince Teng's tower. This writing style is called Fu. According to Chinese poetic tradition, all rhyming style written texts are grouped into four categories: 诗词歌赋. Shi include the strictly regulated poems with requirements on the number of characters, numbers of lines, and tones. Qi refers to lyrics fitting into different musical forms with less strict requirements. Ge refers to folk songs from different regions, especially from regions occupied by non-Han Chinese. And Fu refers to a particular style of rhymed essays, which were originated from the Yangtze River region, but became the dominant style of poetry during the Han Dynasty and refined in the subsequent Tang and Song dynasties. Fu is often quite long and often include regulated poems in it. I might make a video about the Fu. The Fu by Wang Bo has been regarded as one of the best, and it is included in high school textbook in China and other Chinese-speaking communities around the world for many years. I'm Dr. Gao, a philosopher obsessed with poetry. I make videos about classical Chinese poetry, history, philosophies, and traditional Chinese medicine. Please click the like button and subscribe my channel. Your support is very important to me. I also offer one-to-one online lessons on these subjects. So, if you would like to read classical Chinese texts with me or explore any subjects, please contact me, and here is my email address. Now, back to today's poem. This poem is the concluding poem at the end of the rhymed essay Teng Wang Ge Xu. This poem and the related essay were compiled in 676 CE when Wang Bo was on his way to visit his father in Jiaozi, which is located in today's northern Vietnam along the Red River region. Unfortunately, when Wang Bo continued his journey to Jiaozi, he died in a shipwreck during this visit. He was only 26 years old when he died. What a pity! Wang Bo was a genius prodigy. He was already composing poems when he was only 6 years old. By the age of 10, he already studied the 6 classics for civil service examination and mastered all of them. By 16, he had passed the National Civil Service examination and got a job as Chao San Lang, a rank 7 honorary position with a salary but no specific work to do. Wang Bo compiled another rhymed essay in the title of 前元殿颂, Ode to 前元后, when the whole was completed and presented to Emperor Li Zhi, the husband of the only female emperor Wu Zhetian in Chinese history. Emperor Li Zhi was so impressed that he appointed Wang Bo as the tutor to a prince named Li Xian, who later became the crown prince. Prince Li Xian, like many other young men of the noble class of the time, loved rooster fighting. He often organized battle sessions for his roosters with the roosters of his younger brother, Prince Li Xian. To make the rooster fighting more interesting, Wang Bo compiled 习英王基文, a word declaration on behalf of Prince Li Xian's rooster, and sent it to the younger prince Li Xian. It is a bit of awkward that the two princes' names sound exactly the same in English, but in Chinese, one of them pronounced in the second tone, and the younger one's name pronounced in the third tone. So one is Li Xian, and the other one is Li Xian. I don't know if you can actually hear the difference. Anyway, the rooster war declaration somehow caught the attention of Emperor Li Zhi. The emperor was so infuriated that he fired Wang Bo immediately. Let me just show you a couple of the excerpts from this essay to show you why it infuriated the emperor. 两雄不堪并立，一者何敢自忘? A male rooster will not allow my opponent standing with me side by side. How dare you to boast your victory of one peck? 唐为击塞之令，立正击防之行. If you violate the order of Rooster Fortress, you will be immediately executed. 持服而败类者必杀，定当割以牛刀. The rooster who plays dead or ruins his fellow rooster's reputation must be executed by the huge knife that could slaughter an ox. 此席, this is the official word declaration. Given the fact that the Tang Dynasty started with a infighting between brothers, recall that the second emperor Li Shiming murdered two of his brothers and house arrested his father, the first emperor Li Yuan. The first quote must hurt very much to Emperor Li Zhi. The violent intention shown in the second and the third quotes would also be terrifying to the emperor, and the pretentious official tone in the declaration was also a thorn in the flesh because it mocked all the decrees issued by his regime. No wonder the emperor was so angry. However, the 18-year-old Wang Bo had no idea what he had done. He just having a bit of fun with his prince. So after this incident, Wang Bo left Chang'an and went on traveling to Sichuan, the frontier of the newly established Tang Empire. 3 years later, Wang Bo returned to Chang'an from Sichuan to join another civil service examination for a position. Of course, he passed the exam successfully and was given a position in a well-off county named Guozhou, located in today's Henan province. During his time at Guozhou, Wang Bo committed a serious crime. He murdered a fleeing slave named Chao Da. The records of this incident in the Old Tang Dynasty history and the New Tang Dynasty history were very brief. The funny thing is that the two records have a rather different tone recording this incident. According to the Old Tang Dynasty history, Wang Bo hid the fleeing slave at his home after the former committed a crime. Later on, Wang Bo worried that his colleagues might expose his act and get caught. So he killed Cao Da to avoid being exposed. Well, in the New Tang Dynasty history, it is recorded that Cao Da hid in Wang Bo's house. Wang Bo worried that they both might be caught and killed Cao Da. Apparently, the New Tang Dynasty history painted Wang Bo in a matrilineal tone, making him a victim rather than a criminal. However, I think the older version story might be true. It looks like Wang Bo was an impulsive and reckless young man who acted before thinking things over. He probably also had a little sense of right and wrong. He just acted with whatever felt right at a given moment. This explains why he was initially willing to protect a fugitive, but regretted out of fear of being caught and kill the fleeing slave. Of course, this incident landed Wang Bo in hot water again. Not only he was sentenced to be executed, but also got his father demoted from a position at a well-off county near the capital to the remote frontier located in today's Vietnam. Fortunately, Wang Bo was pardoned, so he decided to visit his father. It was on his way to Vietnam he composed this best-known essay and this poem. However, it was also during this trip he died at the age of 26. The record about how he died vary a lot. Some say that he died in a shipwreck on his way to Vietnam. Other sources say that he died in a shipwreck on his way back to Chang'an. Still other sources say that he died in an outing while he was visiting his father. However he died, his body was buried at Huanzhou, where his father used to serve as a governor. The local people loved this poetic genius and built a shrine for Wang Bo and his father, which preserved his remains and a wooden statue of Wang Bo by his father for over 1,000 years. Unfortunately, the grave and the shrine were bombed and destroyed by the U.S. Army in 1972 during the Vietnam War. Fortunately, Wang Bo's shrine was rebuilt in 2016 in a temple among other historical figures. It is very interesting that Wang Bo's shrine is rediscovered by Chinese tourists visiting Vietnam and has become a hot spot for many Chinese tourists. There are a lot of videos on the Chinese TikTok platform recording their visits to Wang Bo's tomb and the shrine. The poem I'm presenting today is the concluding piece at the end of the rhymed essay 滕王阁序. I would also be interested in making a video about this essay if you guys are interested in learning about this particular Chinese poetic style. Please let me know in the comment section down below how interested you are. Since the essay and poem were a tribute to Prince Teng's tower, I'll first explain who Prince Teng was and present a brief history of the tower. The tower was initially built by Prince Li Yuanying in 653 CE when the prince's fiefdom moved to Nanchang. The life story of Li Yuanying is quite funny. When the first Tang Emperor Li Yuan was forced to abdicate his throne to his second son, Li Shimin, in 626 CE, when Li Shimin killed the crown prince and his younger brother, the former emperor was under house arrest at the royal palace with nothing else to do. Maybe out of guilt, Emperor Li Shimin sent a lot of young women to his father. During the last 6 years of his life, Li Yuan fathered about 30 children, and Li Yuanying was one of them. Li Yuanying was only 5 years old when his father Li Yuan passed away. Emperor Li Siming took a liking of his younger half-brother Li Yuanying and basically raised Li Yuanying himself. Li Yuanying was artistically talented, loved luxury life filled with music, dance, and other beautiful artworks. He was particularly fond of architecture and painting. Wherever he went, he would build splendid towers for entertainment. The tower at Nanchang was the second tower he built after he moved from Shandong to Nanchang. Wang Bo's essay and the poem were composed when a high-rank official held a party at the tower in 676 CE. The tower at Nanchang was destroyed and rebuilt as many as 28 times. The tower we see today is the 28th rebuilt tower, completed in 1985. Here are a few more paintings of the tower over the millennia. This one is supposed how it looked like at the Tang Dynasty. And this one is a painting for the rebuilt one in the Song Dynasty. And this one is supposedly the tower from the Ming Dynasty. And this one is supposed to be the one rebuilt in the Yuan Dynasty. Li Yuanying was also an excellent painter. I have posted a part of a painting by Prince Li Yuanying a while ago. Here is the whole scroll of this painting. This style of painting has been reserved for royal collections only over the dynasties because the pricey materials used in these styles of painting. They included paints grounded up from precious gemstones, gold and silver powder, and other expensive metal and minerals, etc. Since Li Yuanying had no political ambition, he lived till the ripe old age of 54. Now, back to the poem. 滕王高阁临江渚，佩玉鸣鸾罢歌舞。画栋朝飞南浦云，珠帘暮卷西山雨。闲云潭影日悠悠，物换星移几度秋。阁中弟子今何在？剑外长江空自流。Now, let's look at the first two couplets. 滕王高阁临江渚，佩玉鸣鸾罢歌舞。画栋朝飞南浦云，珠帘暮卷西山雨。滕王 refers to Prince Teng. Gao means high. Ge means tower. Lin means face to. Jiang refers to Yangtze River. Zhu means islet. Pei Yu refers to jade pendant. Ming means ringing. Luan refers to the phoenix-shaped bell hanging on a luxury carriage. Ba means cease. Ge means singing. Wu means dancing. I'm going to talk a bit about Pei Yu Ming Luan. This four character here is actually a poetic way to say that the guests are leaving. Because when people walk, their jade pendant kind of clink with each other and produce some sound. And the Mingluan actually refers to the phoenix bells attached to the carriage that ring when the carriage moves. And in connection with the character Ba, which means to cease, means that the party is over and the guests were either walking with their jet-pendant chimes or they were in their carriages with their phoenix-shaped bells ringing as they drive away. So this is just a poetic way to say the guests were living in their carriages after the party. 画 means painted. 动 refers to the ridgepole. 朝 means morning. 飞 means flying. 南 means southern. 浦 refers to the bank. And 云 means clouds. 珠帘 refers to the pearl adorned curtain. 暮 means evening. 卷 means roll up. 西山 refers to the western mountain. 雨 means rain. So these two couplets can be translated as Prince Tang's high tower faces the Yangtze Island. The singing and dancing have ceased as the jet pendants and bell chime in departing carriages. In the morning, clouds from the southern bank fly through the painted ridge poles. In the evening, rain from western mountain rolls up the pearl-adorned curtains. 闲云潭影日悠悠，物换星移几度秋。阁中弟子今何在？剑外长江空自流。闲 means calm or leisurely, but because we are going to translate yu also as leisurely, so David and I decided we're going to translate 闲 as calm. 云 again means clouds. 潭 refers to pond. 影 refers to the reflection of the clouds on the surface of the pond. 日 here means the days. 悠悠 means leisurely. 物 refers to things. 换 means changes. 星 refers to star. 移 means move. 几 means how many. 度 means pass. 秋 refers to autumn. 阁 refers to the tower. 中 means inside. 弟子 refers to Prince Teng. 今 means now. 何在 means where is he. 涧 refers to balustrade. 外 means beyond. 长江 again refers to the Yangtze River. 空 here means in wind. 流 means flood. So the last two couplets can be translated as calm clouds are reflected in ponds on the leisurely days. Things change as the stars move. How many autumns have passed? Prince Teng, where is he now? Beyond the balustrade, Yangtze River flows in wind. The first two couplets describe how extravagant the tower is and the high time of this tower. However, the tone changed drastically in the last two couplets. The poet's melancholy reminds us that nothing is permanent. Not the talented prince, not the high-rank officials. The universe is indifferent to everyone and everything in exactly the same way. Given the fact that Wang Bo just escaped a death sentence, we might be able to understand his delusion at such a young age. The last couplet reminds us Li Bai's poem about the Phoenix Tower. Here are the two couplets. If we examine them together, we find that they express the same melancholy about lost time and maybe also about lost hopes. The difference is that Li Bai composed his poem in his 40s, while Wang Bo was only 26 when he composed his poem. We have to say that Wang Bo had experienced his misfortune too early, and that he also died too young. Just imagine how much more beautiful poems he might compose if he lived to Li Bai's age. I'm Dr. Gao, a philosopher obsessed with poetry. I make videos about the classical Chinese poetry and history and classical Chinese philosophy and the philosophy of traditional Chinese medicine. Please click the like button and subscribe my channel. Your support is very important to me. I also offer one-to-one online lessons on these subjects. So, if you would like to read the classic texts with me or explore any of these topics, please contact me. Here is my email address. Thanks for watching my video. I'll see you next time.